I'm Katie Miller. The Missoula County Attorney's Office just released their annual report for 2020. I sit down with our county attorney and we discuss the results. 2020 was a challenging year, bringing uncertainty, racial injustice, and financial insecurity and health concerns due to COVID-19. In Missoula County, our criminal justice system saw impacts.
We had a huge spike in violent crime, particularly in family-related violent crime.
Missoula County Attorney Kirsten Papp says that for the past few years, there's been a decline in violent crime, but last year presented some unique challenges to our office and our community.
Late spring, when the COVID restrictions started coming into place, we started seeing that trend sadly reverse.
In May, Zakai Hauk was charged with fatally shooting and leaving Jonathan Wallach in the road in a residential neighborhood.
We see the worst of humanity, and those tragic human stories are really hard to. It's hard to spend so much time with someone that's in trauma or with this material, bloody photographs, things like that over the years, and not have it affect you a little bit.
Violent crimes like homicide, stalking, and abuse are the most common type of offense in Missoula County, at 38% of overall cases. In July through September, there were 65% more aggravated assault arrests than in the year before. In November, Charles Covey was charged for the homicide death of 65-year-old Lee Nelson, who was wheelchair-bound in a downtown parking lot. In December, Christopher Newrider was charged for the shooting death of Sundance Hernandez in the Creekside Apartments parking lot. Endangerment crimes like vehicular homicide and arson also increased, now making up 16% of total cases.
That's alarming to us because those are the cases that really involve harming members of our community.
Drug-related offenses make up the second largest number of cases. Meth-related overdose deaths increased 81% since 2015, and heroin overdose deaths increased by 360%. Papp says drugs are a motivating factor behind a lot of what we're seeing, and she says that's why her office focuses so much on criminal reform and pretrial diversion programs. The hope is that they can address the drugs, the violence will slow.
Unfortunately, they're not mutually exclusive, and so a lot of the drug crimes relate directly to not just violent crimes, but also the property crimes. We see a lot of burglaries, residential burglaries, and thefts and things like that that are drug-driven crimes. So if we can get to the root of the problem, hopefully we will see a continued decrease in some of these other categories.
Property crimes did decrease in 2020, as did crimes committed by juveniles.
What we're seeing is not necessarily a reduction in the overall crime, but a shift in the seriousness of it.
In Missoula, Katie Miller, MTN News.